All right, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop, let me get in frame here. Ah, ah. I am your friendly ghost dog. I'm here by my lonesome self, but I am bringing you some exciting matches tonight. It's going to be the B-SouthEast final between Phoenix Rising Onyx and Psistorm Immortals. And let's take a quick look and see how we got here. The brackets of Psistorm Immortals took out Death and Delay. And a touch of honey. Whereas we got Phoenix Rising Onyx taking out Clouded Minds Unleashed, as well as BG Johannamine's family. That's a personal loss to me right there. But Phoenix Rising Onyx now moving to the finals against Psistorm Immortals. Let's take a look where we're at. We have the map bans are in. We've banned Battlefield of Eternity, Braxis Holdout, both of which were Psistorm banned Braxis Holdout, Battlefield banned out by Phoenix Rising Onyx, Towers of Doom banned out also by Phoenix Rising, and Psistorm Immortals chose to ban Volskaya Foundry, and we are going to Alterac Pass. So this is going to be a very fun night here. Best of 5. We're going to see if it turns out into an epic 3-2 match or a 3-0 stomp or somewhere in between. Either way, we're going to have some fun. Thank you guys very much for joining me here tonight. I've got my space cup right here. As you can tell, the S stands for space. Got to keep that old throat whistled. Oh my god. I'm already going off to the deep end, but we are going into the game. Here's the ban for Alterac Pass. Now, this is an interesting one. The objective is not that incredibly, like, it doesn't demand attention as much as other maps. Like, it's really about trying to keep the objective under control while you do stuff on the rest of the map. And it's very much like the original Alterac Battlefield that way. So what a lot of teams will try to do, they'll try to get people like Junkrat or Chromie, people that can stall out the objective while the rest of the team does things elsewhere on the map. Globals are very important, as well as people who can do a lot of zoning. The zoning in the objective area, very important. We're going to see Tychus banned out first, while Phoenix Rising thinks about the options they have. Tychus being taken down, very good hero, can really mess up a lot of what a tank wants to do, especially somebody who thrives on high HP like Diablo or Stitches. And we have Anduin being banned out, also very good healer at the moment. And it's also very interesting to see what metas develop between different groups of divisions. You know, for example, C West Junkrat was first pick, first banned, highly contested in playoff games. We're seeing Tygus and Anduin now. I don't know if that's any kind of scouting on the side of Phoenix Rising or Psistorm. We got Johanna banned out. And we'll see what Psistorm Immortals comes back with. And Junkrat is indeed first ban material up here in B Southwest. The first pick immediately taken by Brightwing. It's got that global control, and it's a very good, very strong healer. Oh. Okay, I need to do a quick team swap here. I have the teams on opposite sides.
Let's fly.
I forgot where the swap button is on on Soothsayer here.
Here we go.
Change is upon us.
There's the swap button. Found it. Okay. We're going to update that. Okay. Apologies for that. Looks like we have Phoenix Rising, Onyx now banning out Zeratul. Phoenix Rising picking out Vala and Falstead immediately. And on the side of Psistorm Immortals, we do see that we have Chromie being taken by gambling. That's going to allow you to interrupt those objectives. Falstad, it gives you the global that Brightwing and Dahaka provide for Psistorm Immortals. So now we're going to see what Onyx picks up. EDC being banned out. And there's the Lucio May. Lucio, very annoying to deal with. He could just skate around and sort of ruin your day. And they're going to round that out with Raynor and Murden. So very vanilla, like, and I don't say that in a bad way, composition coming out. Very basics. They're all in. They've got utility for, you know, the two things they want to do, which is global and interrupt, and just, yeah, Murden, Raynor. Here's your, 2,000 gold heroes, and we're going to see what Lewd Panda rounds out the composition with. And we're going to see Deathwing coming out for Lewd Panda 99. Deathwing, very popular. The tight area of the objective allows Deathwing to get off a lot of nasty breath in the area. So he can deal a lot of damage in that small space. All right, we're going to be getting into the game here. Okay, we are in. That's a very fast loading screen, and I'm going to show you what's going on here. Over on the blue team, we've got, for Psistorm Immortals, Lunny's Gwen on the Brightwing, Crispy on Dahaka, Gambling on Chromie, Chaos Pigeon is playing the Muradin, and Raynor is on Air Dog. And over here we got Northern Touch on May, Falstead on US maps. Paco's Taco on the Vala, Delilah on the Lucio, and US maps on the Falstad. And don't forget the Deathwing, who has taken off into the skies. Raynor up here, maybe thinking Psistorm about taking out. There it is. There's the well cheese in top. That's going to give the top laner a easier time. Murden stunning the rotation, but Deathwing lands, and he's going to try and beat up Raynor. Lewd Panda 99 on the Deathwing finds the Dahaka, but the well is gone. The damage has been done. Falstead going down to bot, and Psistorm Immortals taking a decisive advantage with the well snipe up in top. You see they are moving to the camp immediately. They're there 2 seconds early. Meanwhile, Phoenix Rising Onyx has not started moving towards there. Now Delilah and Paco's Taco heading towards the camp. That's going to give the advantage. We're going to take a look at the talents. Raynor going for stacking veteran marksman. And if you can see here, Blizzard has a nice Easter egg where you can get just over 9,000 stacks on veteran marksman. Crummy going for vision. Vision very important on this map. Here's the camp for Psistorm Immortals, picked up very early. And Vala going for an auto attack build. So that's going to be a gambit. When Vala dies, she's going to lose some of that auto attack value that she gets from Creed of the Hunter. Pretty standard all around. Although May going for W build. I've heard various opinions about that. Phoenix Rising going to push the enemy camp into their tower range. The tower is going to take care of it. Now their camp is going to be pushing. It's a 3v3 here. We've got the solo laners. Dahaka having trouble against this. Definitely was a full 40 armor. All of his plates are there. And there's Murden getting low. Murden stays out too long. Vala takes him down. And that is first blood for Phoenix Rising Onyx. And it looks like Falstead has taken out Chromie. So, down to 165 health. US Maps gets the solo kill in the solo lane. That is huge. I would say bigger than this kill up top. Although this top kill allows him to get a front wall. This camp is actually, it's not going to deny him much experience. Murden heading to the wave to pick it up almost immediately. The US Maps is going to back, but Falstead will be able to fly back in. Meanwhile, over here, Deathwing giving Dahaka a hard time still. Christie's going to back and most likely dig in. But it's time to go get the camps again. So Psistorm Immortals a little more on top of the macro. There's Deathwing just ruining the wave, and Crispy taking all of those archer damage. And on the bottom we have May moving down to maybe try and help with Murden. Northern Touch is going to head to the rest of the team to deal with the camp pushing in mid lane. The camp picked up on the side of Phoenix Rising, but Phoenix Rising getting a couple kills right out of the gate. That's giving them a slight advantage, especially in terms of levels. They've got level 7, but they're not going to make the decision to do anything drastic with that small talent tier difference, and I don't blame it. It doesn't seem like they're in a great position to do that. May helping clear out the wave. Maybe looking for something. Vala getting some free damage onto Raynor. Has to use his adrenaline rush to give himself a little health back, and they're pushing this camp in pretty strong. They're having a surprisingly difficult time preventing the camp getting in that far, but they don't get a whole lot. They get some damage. Here comes Vala setting up in the bush by the top area, maybe looking for a Dahaka pickoff, but they changed their mind on that. Deathwing still having 40 all of his plates armor, and Falstead having an easy time, I'm sure, against this Murden. Northern Touch waiting in the bush, anchoring for the team, while Lucio maybe takes these minions down, sort of picks them off. Getting stopped by the Chromie spells. He's not going to take too much Chromie damage. He somehow wall rides off of a hole in the ground, but he gets away regardless. Now it's time to get camps again. That's what I mean about this objective. Nobody really goes for it. They try to do other things in the map, and the other things in the map generally include getting picks on the different lanes and getting these camps out as soon as possible. These camps are very strong, and they push very hard. Probably more important than the bosses, as many would argue. Northern Touch now moving to the mid lane. May rotating between mid and bot. See if they get any opportunities. Dahaka staying back. Not any real option to gank him, and Murden can't really do much. He's ungankable down here, but they're without their tank with Murden stuck in the bottom lane, and now he will move up to tank. Try and prevent, maybe even coming in to try and get this objective first of all. And both teams have hit 10. I don't think we're going to see anything. Here comes the Raynor Hyperion to push away the red team. But now here's 5 in the middle as Phoenix Rising pushes into the fort. The camp is gone. There have no more minions. Phoenix Rising retreats. They don't get a whole lot of damage on the fort, but now moving down, they find a Dahaka and Ayers. Both teams are here except Falstead, who has moved up. Grab a little bit of XP, but here's the ice wall going down. It's going to stop one member. There's no follow-up on that member. Definitely looking for the fear. Only hits the Haka. Murden trying to find something, but only take a little bit of damage. Here's the Deathwing Breath, and you see that Deathwing Breath very dangerous in that area. Start of a fight. Only one ultimate used by Phoenix Rising, whereas we have 3 on cooldown. For Phoenix Rising, or sorry, for Psistorm Immortals. May looking for something, and there's the capture in the back to Haka, unable to stop it. The slowing stand's going down, trying to keep the members of Phoenix Rising in one place. Here comes Deathwing with the Cataclysm, but Brightwing is going to heal Murden. Back up to full to Haka, trying to find something in the backline. He can't. There's the big breath onto the May Blizzard. Airdog getting pretty low, so is Crispy on the Dahaka, and Phoenix Rising pushing up, but there's a drag onto May. Counter punch though. There's the ice wall going down. Dahaka manages to get out, but it looks like Chromie is stuck there. They've got it, and they've got a gnome to go with it. Phoenix Rising just pushes Psistorm out. Psistorm just really can't make any headway. Dahaka digging top immediately, realizing this is done. Here comes Falstead. Dahaka looking for the tongue. That's not going to happen. Here comes the objective for Phoenix Rising. Here comes Hyperion looking to push Phoenix Rising up here. It's going to be 3 versus 3 as they push onto this fort. The objective is almost gone, and they've gotten their null camp in mid, and that's going to save a lot of damage on that fort. Very good. Brightwing moving up the top, seeing if they can make some a move on the Falstead, but US Maps backs off. He's going to be just fine. This camp is going to be taken down. Let's see if they can get any value in bot as Phoenix Rising makes the rotation to bottom lane, and it looks like they're going to be able to clear this camp, but I don't know if they're going to be able to clear out Phoenix Rising before they get this fort. Murden has to jump out. The Chromie spells are not pushing them out, and Phoenix Rising gets bottom fort off first objective. First objective is clear. Camp is up. We see Vala and Lucio moving there now. Camps are staggered almost. Actually, I take that back. By the time that they clear this will be up, but the staggered camps is going to be a slightly different situation than before, where they were getting them at the same time. May just hang around the team, making sure that she can pick up the XP if they need to, as the laners get top and bottom, and the rest of her team grabs the camp. And it's camp time for Psistorm. Have the null camp pushing in, May backing out. She was in a dangerous space. Lucio coming up, maybe looking for something on the Haka. They've got Vala with her. Are they going to be able to get to the Haka? Gank. Crispy gets the thing. Here's the isolation going now, trying to save him. It's 4-on-1. Will the Haka be able to use all of his health bars? No. The Haka goes down, and they immediately start boss in top. Big gank for Phoenix Rising. Psistorm immediately responding bot with a boss of their own. Well, we got Deathwing clearing out the middle camp. It's going to be camp time soon. Yep. For Phoenix Rising, Onyx, the boss pushing it into top lane. Top lane is going to be where the objective is, but now they're rotating bottom. Falstead flying down to see if he can make a gust play. Just not going to make it. US Maps trying to see if they can do a big play, but now Phoenix Rising making a quick rotation down. The fact that they got boss bursts means that they can get a lot more value out of their boss that Psistorm was busy clearing. They're not able to clear their boss. This boss, taking out top 4, only has half health right now. However, Psistorm starts in on the objective. They're going to get a head start on this. We're going to see if... Oh, there's a big drag onto Falstad. Falstad will escape. There's the ice wall to shut everything down. The Cataclysm comes in to push everyone away. The Hyperion out from Raynor. There's the breath from the Phoenix Rising. And they grab their camp back. Almost grabbed themselves a false step and a quick ice wall from May. However, Dahaka caught out. Can they get him? He burrows. The Brightwing damage comes in. The stun is not quite there. Crispy gets some damage, and that's not going to be a kill on the Dahaka. Crispy almost in big trouble. They're going to take a couple seconds to sort of flick that fort down. And Phoenix Rising moving into the objective. They've got 16. They want to use this advantage. There's the capture. Dahaka going down bottom to see if they can get 16 very soon. We're going to check in on Dahaka. Does he have Z up? He does. Oops, that's the wrong button. There's. And I don't know how to clear that. Oh well, now we get to see Dahaka. There's Deathwing trying to put down some fire. Realize he's not going to hit many people. Here comes the fear. It's going to get 2 people. Crispy, Jordan, and Dahaka caught out. Crispy taking a ton of damage. There's the Gust to get the team out. 6 teams are here for both teams. There's a big stun on the May, but May is able to get out. Dahaka slowing down the rest of the team. And another objective for Phoenix Rising. Psistorm not able to get anything going in time to keep them to push Phoenix Rising off the camp, and pretty much the same story we saw from the last objective where they were unable to push them off the objective, and Phoenix Rising pushes through, and we're going to see if the defense of Psistorm is going to be able to weather this storm as well. Here's the big stun trying to find somebody. Here's the fire. That's going to do a lot of damage to this front wall along with the objective. Here comes the Hyperion out to mitigate any damage. They're going to get the front wall. They have to back out over Falstad, pushing bottom with a healthy camp. And I will say, Psistorm has done a really good job keeping their waves pushed out. You don't see any huge waves in any of these places. And that camp goes down to Hawk, able to take care of top himself. They get 3 front walls, no real damage on the keeps, although Deathwing, in a precarious situation, has to use Cataclysm to escape the team moving into gank. Lewd Panda, 99. Able to get out. That's an 80 seconds, but it's unlikely he's going to have to use that anytime soon. Both camps now being taken. Psistorm doing a great job with macro, but they can't get the job done on these objectives, it seems. You're seeing both camps pushing into center. Phoenix Rising with their camp, however, Psistorm not with their camp. Maybe making a play for this bottom fort. Phoenix Rising realizing that, Murden anchoring just above the fort. Deathwing clearing the rest of the camp, trying to make their camp win out. Dahaka is up top getting experience, and Phoenix Rising responds in time so that fort doesn't mean a whole lot. Now Psistorm has to rotate middle to clear out this camp. Decent wave along with the camp, but it looks like it's going to be more waiting. And Phoenix Rising happy to be, you know, slightly ahead in XP and just winning all these objectives. They don't really care about the map and you know, no mistakes. Even if Psistorm Immortal makes no mistakes, but there's a big stun from Deathwing. The team isn't there to follow up, and Psistorm immediately retreats. But they're going to have a full level lead as this objective comes up. And making sure that the flank is clear for the rest of her team. But Psistorm moving down now. Dahaka is going to have a lot to deal with. This bot wave seems pretty good, as well as the top wave. But Psistorm starting this boss right away Murden making sure that Falston doesn't take it. And they give up. Okay. Looks like a audible has been called. They didn't see Falstad on the map. Falstad, thinking maybe they're on the boss play, comes down and finds nobody. Phoenix Rising starting the boss themselves. It's going to be 20. And that's a smart call by Psistorm. You know, they're not underestimating their opponent. Phoenix Rising, obviously realizing they were off the map for a very long time. They probably would have gotten there in time to steal the boss. And they're just going to have to let Phoenix Rising take the boss themselves because they don't want to fight down level 20. And instead, they're going to clear middle. This boss, you know, you can clear it. It's probably not going to get a whole lot of damage. It's going to get the remaining turret and probably put some damage onto the keep. But it will allow Phoenix Rising to move top and make a double boss play, perhaps. Trying to stay out of vision. The entire team moves behind the gate. I don't think they saw them. They realized Deathwing is alone trying to clear this camp, and it's going to be the same trade-off as last time. They're going to take the objective in exchange for the top boss. Psistorm Immortal almost certainly realizes that they're on the boss. Rainer clearing this boss out. This is going to get actually half the keep in bottom. That's a pretty strong rock monster up top. Rock monster. Deathwing, an immediate cataclysm, trying to catch the rest of the team out. Rainer is trying to make his way to the team. Here comes the Deathwing breath. Onto the stun on the Murden. Chaos has to pop Avatar. Here comes the Hyperion to clear everything out, and Psistorm does not make it out alive. Chromie stuck in her time out. There's another gnome snack for Deathwing. Well, it's Falstad that got that kill, and this boss pushing top has a huge wave behind it. That wave is probably more dangerous than the boss itself, and they don't have Chromie, their best wave clear, to clear this out. And I want to say, Rainer not taking Marksman really is unfortunate. If he had taken Exterminator, he would have more of the wave clear that they needed, which, you know, to be fair, they didn't really need until now with Chromie dead, but only 15 stacks on the veteran marksman for the Rainer. Meanwhile, Bala has 71 stacks. On the Creed of the Hunter, but also more importantly, has not died. And with Chromie dead and the lanes being pushed way out in for Psistorm Immortals, they're going to have to deal with that. And they're not able to fight this objective. That's a much easier objective, but still another objective nonetheless for Phoenix Rising. Chromie is now back with the team. They only have 2 keeps left. Now, don't forget that every keep they take down reduces the armor of the core. This guy that looks like a dwarf over here. Oh, but Deathwing gets a stun down. Here's Murden trying to find a Falstad. The jump stun is not in time. US Maps has a barrel roll out. There's the Ice Wall going down. It only catches one. There's the Deathwing breath to follow up. Chaos Vision not taking a whole lot of damage. Has Avatar available. Doesn't need it. There's the objective going down. Lucio high-fives the Vala. There's a jump onto the Vala. Can they stun her? The Gust saves Paco's Tacos. Excellent play coming out from US Maps. But the keep mid is not going to go to however the keep bottom is going to, and the core is now being assaulted. That core is getting awfully low, and this is going to allow Phoenix Rising to take that final fort. Are they going to be able to go for the thing? There's a Cataclysm coming in from Deathwing right onto the boss. The damage is going down. I think this is going to be game for Phoenix Rising. Onyx, can Psistorm push them off? No, the Deathwing breath seals the deal, and that's going to be game number 1. Going over to Phoenix Rising Onyx. And here is the game summary for you. I mean, really, very good play by both teams, but Phoenix Rising able to dictate the pace of the game at every single level. And that's really what, that's, you know, just strong fundamentals is what won this game. Talents here. I don't think anything too out of the ordinary as far as ultimates go. I think they were looking for more team fighting on the side of Psistorm Immortals, and Phoenix Rising just, when they gave it to them, they were able to outlast them between the Lucio and the Mei, and they just weren't able to find any kills. All right, we are going to be right back. Please hang on. And we will be back with the next map. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned. That was indeed a sweat fest, as Bacchus Nova points out there. We are going now to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Looks like Psistorm Immortals has opted for first pick rather than map pick, so it will be Phoenix Rising taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, we want to welcome everybody in tonight. We're going to see if Psistorm Immortals can tie it up. Thanks, everybody, for checking out NGS. Oh, and into the game we go. I was about ready to talk about how great NGS is, but we are getting right into the game. It will be Psistorm Immortals picking first. We're going to see if the bans change for Tomb of the Spider Queen, or if these are pretty much set bans for both of these teams. Tychus. And Tychus fits, I think, what Psistorm Immortals was trying to do on Tomb of the Spider Queen. They just didn't have the same tools that Phoenix Rising did. They want to sit there, they want to have sustained fights and see if they can get their, they can catch their opponent out somewhere. But between the Murden and the Rainer and the Chromie, they just want to poke out their opponent. And so Tychus can really mess with that if you have somebody sitting there walling for the rest of the team. Yep, and then Tychus Johanna being banned out. And we also see the same Anduin bin coming in for Phoenix Rising. So it looks like we have our defined meta for B-SouthEast. Oh, instead we have a Hogger ban coming out. I am down with the Hogger ban anytime it happens. Hogger is a very strong hero, despite how much he, all the nerfs that he has, and Vala being taken first. They want to take that Vala away, and there's the instant Junkrat. Junkrat, a high priority for Phoenix Rising. You say they didn't ban him when they thought they could get him. All right, and they round that off with a Lucio pick. I mean, Lucio worked very well for them in the previous game, too. And we see the Diablo coming out from Chaos Pigeon. Also, someone you want a good time to ban out Tychus, if you know you're going to pull in Diablo. And then Stukov coming out for Lunisquin. I'm guessing it's Lunisquin because I have not seen this name before. The Chromie ban. Last time Phoenix Rising banned out the Zeratul, now they're banning out the Chromie. I mean, it's good wave clear for what they had before. Although it was gambling that was on the Chromie last game. I mean, you can always switch. And there's the May ban coming out for Psistorm. May probably gave them a lot of trouble last game.
For the frozen throne.
And we have a Falstad. I think US Maps must be a Falstad main because this is the second time we've got it. Falstad, you might think he doesn't have as much value here, even though he is, you know, he's got the global. I mean, the global here just means he can start ganking any lane anytime that he decides. And the Anubrak, very strong tank just in general, and now that they can't get the May, that Anubrak probably their second choice. And then we get the Tassadar coming out from Urdog. Tassadar's going to give them lots of wave clear. Of course, on this map, wave clear is the key. If you don't draft wave clear on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you're going to have a bad time. And finally, the offlaner Lewd Panda picking their hero. And it's going to be Deathwing again. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we see the question coming in from chat: why pick Lucio over Stukov and Anduin? Lucio, I think, is easily a first pickable hero. I think he's very, very strong, pretty much in any situation. And I really want to shout out Psistorm's portrait synergy, very strong from them. But, I mean, Anduin pull, you know, keeping it away from your opponent. Anduin pull can really mess up what was otherwise a solid gank. But we are going to go into Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we're going to introduce the teams. On the blue side, it's going to be Psistorm Immortals. And that's why it's not popping up. Okay, we're going to do the player pop-ups once again because I had the wrong scene. That's a good way to make me realize that I haven't changed off the draft game. Okay, on the blue team, we've got Lunisquan on the Stukov, Crispy on the Sonya, Gambling on the Vala, Chaos Pigeon playing Diablo, and Urdog on the Tassadar. On the red side, we've got Phoenix Rising Onyx with Northern Touch on the Anubrak, US Maps playing Falstad, Lewd Panda 99 on Deathwing, Delilah on Lucio, and Paco's Taco on Junkrat. A bit of loud screaming. There's a nice route onto Diablo, and we're going to show you the talents. Junkrat going for extra long. Falstad went Cuba last game, now going for frequent flyer. You're going to get extra damage out of all these minions that Falstad will be able to clear out, whereas with the objective, wow, Diablo taking a lot of damage. Junkrat tries to boop him into the team, boost Diablo away, and that's going to be no gank. Diablo being very aggressive. I like to see it. On the side of Psistorm going after maybe Northern Touch. Nubarak looking a little low. Lucio just be able to heal him up, no problem. Getting the beetles out as much as possible. There's the task wall. Tries to slam Junkrat into a weird interaction as Diablo gets stopped by the wall, but Paco's Taco does not yet get still stunned in the bottom wall anyway. There's the Anubrak stun, and here's the wall, preventing them from dealing with that Urdog, looking for a zap onto them. Vala on the other team going W build, looking to get that fire at will to let the multi-shot get more damage. The more heroes she hits, she's already got 3 big stacks. And Tassadar going for the auto attack build. Darian Amulet's going to let him. Oh, there's a big stun onto Falstad. The Diablo comes in to peel Falstad, getting the damage down, but Urdog gets back, throws up a wall just to try and stop any further come up. And now it's camp time for both teams. Phoenix Rising beats Psistorm Immortal barely. on them. We're going to have both camps pushing in at the same time. Diablo up here all alone. They use his soul shield to try and prevent this gank. Chaos Vision is going to shadow charge Lucio to get out of danger. Just punishing the Diablo for being there all by his lonesome. Psistorm really making a big use of these walls to stop the rotation of Phoenix Rising Onyx between top and mid. Meanwhile, Junkrat has snuck down to bottom and gotten the siege camp. That's going to be a slight XP lead for Psistorm or Phoenix Rising Onyx as they clear the Bruiser camp mid. And both teams have a decent amount of wave clear. Phoenix Rising only has a slight edge in terms of getting that camp bottom first, but the gem count actually in favor of Psistorm Immortals, and Psistorm has a turn in should they so desire to do that. We see Crispy trying to go on that. Sonya trying to go in for a turn in. Oh, there's a flip from Diablo onto the Anubrak. Chaos Vision decides it's not worth the fight. Takes off. Deathwing looking for a little bit of damage on the Vala. Not going to find any. Both teams trying to push out. Northern Touch making a lot of space for the rest of his team and a lot of space to get the rest of that wave. Gets walled off, but no follow-up available. Tassadar almost complete with his Kydarian Amulet task, which is going to give him... oh! But I didn't even notice it. It happened so fast. The rest of Phoenix Rising Onyx moves bottom and clears out Sonya. That is going to be huge for them. That's going to allow Phoenix Rising to get a lot more XP. It's going to force somebody to come down. And Diablo's not able to make the rotation down there, just leaving the XP sit bottom. Deathwing's going to pick the rest of it up. That was a big gank. They saw Sonya out. They thought the rest of Phoenix Rising was rotating back mid. They quickly turned around and got the gank onto Sonya. Big kill. T-Tours for me for missing it. But here comes Phoenix Rising with the first turn-in. And they're already in control of this game. Taka looking a little low. And the Chattering Teeth are in play. It's going to be trap build for Junkrat, of course. And it's going to be those very annoying traps all over the place. Oh, Diablo got booped in the enemy team. He's going to take a decent amount of damage. But he's Diablo. He can shrug off and absorb quite a bit of damage. Phoenix Rising has a big push up here. Big wave. Lucio getting very brave. And Psistorm has to clear out the wave mid before they can rotate top. And that's going to be the front wall down for Phoenix Rising. It's really all you can expect. When you get a fort out of the first spider turn, and you're way ahead of your enemy. And that's going to give, I think, 2 front walls, both top and bottom, for Phoenix Rising. And now Psistorm Immortals does have a turn, and Northern Touch doing a good job of zoning the rest of the team out. And despite Sonya going down, I don't think she had her gems turned in. So they didn't lose a whole lot of gems in that gank. But here's a fight. Here's Nubrak going in on the Diablo. Can they burn him down? Chaos Vision getting very low down to 300 health. There's a Stukov heal coming in. That's going to heal Diablo up. Not able to find the kill there just before 10s come online. And actually, XP is pretty even on both sides. One kill gets a little bit of XP for Psistorm Immortal, but the minion soak, I think because of the first spider turn and pushing those waves in for Psy Immortal, allows them to keep up. And here comes Tens. Here's the Stukov going down, getting a stun. Urek misses Z, but it's not going to matter. Stukov caught in the wrong part of town. Who knows? Maybe he was thinking about which 10 he wanted. Maybe didn't notice the rotation, but either way, that's going to be a small advantage for Phoenix Rising. They're going to use that advantage to get the camp. They almost have a turn-in. About 10 more gems for them. But Psistorm has got 21 on Vala, 17 on Diablo. Oh, the hammer from Falstead misses the Vala turn, and she gets all 21 gems in. That's an excellent time for Psistorm. The fire going on in the Diablo, trying to prevent them, but Psistorm doing a great job of owning the space in the turn-in and middle. Ooh, there's a dive onto Paco's Taco, and once again, US map safes Paco's Taco. But here come the spiders. Excellent job pushing this wave up. And Diablo looking for something aggressive here. Oh, tries to go on the Anubarak, but he was burrowing, so not able to get the wall stun from the Shadow Charge. Middle is going to do a lot of damage as forces Phoenix Rising to go down and clear it. And Vala and Tassar are coming up. Diablo gating for the rest of his team in that small alleyway here. We're looking at the... Oh, there's a big flip onto a nuke. Oh, and there's goes the Burrow Charge. Stopped early. There's the Lightning Breath into the Lucio sound barrier. Lucio breaks it down, but Diablo finds Junkrat trying to move up the cocoon, going down onto Stukov. Stukov taken out of it immediately from the Tassar. Tassar, an excellent Anubarak counter as far as Cocoon is concerned. They try to find another flip. Oh, there's a jump leap onto three people, and Sonya finds the Anubarak kill. Excellent aggression coming out from Crispy. Diablo tried to find the kill on the Anubarak, and Diablo making a very aggressive push in the fort here, make sure the team can grab mid fort as well as top fort. And the Diablo play coming out from Chaos Vision is really punishing Phoenix Rising on a lot of their rotations. Deathwing here. He stuns the attackers on him, and Deathwing looks like he'll be fine. He has to tap. He will be okay. Psistorm looking to take advantage of their superior position, getting the bottom camp, but Phoenix Rising turns in. They opted not to goaltend the turn-ins at Spider. Meanwhile, we got... oh, the fear comes out. Crispy avoids it. Crispy playing heads up on the Sonya. And meanwhile, we have Phoenix Rising pushing in top as Sonya tries to use the camp to bully the Deathwing. Here come the red spiders. There's the Junkrat bomb, pushing everybody away from the Spider, trying to get the Spider more time to take this fort down. Oh, here comes the Tassar, black hole in, only hits Lucio, no follow-up. There's the Cocoon onto Vala. Gambling gets out, no problem, as Phoenix Rising moves mid to try and capture that fort. Falstead flies down to deal with the Sonya. And now rotating back mid, allowing Deathwing more space to push with that. There's the Diablo onto Lucio. Falstead immediately gust, not even going to think twice about whether that engage is going to be dangerous for them, as Phoenix Rising backs off. Deathwing might have to Cataclysm out here. He does not go down in time, and Psistorm... Oh, here's the counterpunch coming from Phoenix Rising. There's Stukov caught out once again. Here comes the Riptire. It doesn't matter. Stukov goes down before that thanks to Falstead. Here's the big damage. Diablo now looking low. Chaos Pigeon getting very low. Shadow charges into the enemy wave and escape for now. Here comes the Anubarak, though. There's a double stun onto Vala. Gambling looking very low. There's a stun from the Rain of Vengeance from Gambling, has a vault available and gets out scot-free. That could have been way worse, and it could be still worse, but Sonya not in trouble from the bomb. Stukov just a little too far up, trying to get the silence to get that gank onto the Deathwing. Actually, I say silence, but that's ridiculous. Stukov would not be looking for silence. Oh, but there's the Rain of Vengeance. Here comes Sonya in for the leap. Another bunch. There's the fear from Deathwing. Doesn't anybody. Gambling looking very low. Oh, he steps into the fire and goes down, but Deathwing is going to go down as well. Lucio goes down. It's an absolute bloodbath, and it's going to be 3 for 2 in favor of Psistorm. Vala looking to put damage down, stepped into the fire, but it didn't matter. The rest of the team, Tassadar, Sonya, Stukov, Diablo, able to put down a ton of damage, take out the Deathwing, and take out the Falstad and Lucio, who were trying to make that into a bigger deal. Excellent counter engage coming in. I don't even know if it was a counter engage. It just ended up just an absolute, hockey fight in the middle there for both teams. Psistorm able to make it work for them. Also lands Psistorm a turn-in. Tassadar walling off the rest of the team to avoid any sort of attack onto him. Psistorm is excellent push. Deathwing trying to melt it all away. I don't think he's hitting the spider. Oh, walks up, gets a fear on the 3 people. That's going to push the rest of the team away and allow them to clear the spider out quickly. A shame it wasn't able to net a bigger result. The spider top goes down. That's going to be front wall and most of, not a third of midkeep. Oh, but Anubrak caught in a bad spot, able to burrow charge out Northern Touch. Just anchoring for the rest of the team. Anubrak able to use his escape to get out. That's what he usually uses. Escapes for. There's a stun on Diablo to stop going on his team. There's a boop onto Diablo. Diablo immediately shadow charges into Anubrak. There's the Rain of Vengeance shutting down Anubrak, and Anubrak cannot get out in time. This time the Lightning Breath makes darn sure that there's the leap onto Lucio. Lucio, Rain of Vengeance follow up, but the Riptire is enough to push them away, and it's only going to be Anubrak going down as Psistorm winning the team fights now. They've got the tools that they need in this game. Vala has a nice amount of stacks on her Fire at Will quest. Now, Psistorm taking advantage of the pick onto Anubrak and getting themselves a boss. Falstad would be suicide to come here and try to make a play for this. That's going to be a boss going over to Psistorm Immortal, and Phoenix Rising prepares to defend boss in top lane. They have middle camp pushing. That should get something done, but not a whole lot. Stun onto Psistorm. Tassadar looks for damage. There's the Deathwing. Doesn't get the damage quite where they want. There's the and we have a pause in the game. I'm not sure what the issue might be. Oh, it looks like we've got some bad ping for one of the teams here, so we are going to just wait a second. And just to remind you where we left off, we have the spider pushing, and this fort is about a third of its health gone. I think they're going to get the keep. Sorry, I said fort. I meant keep. I believe they're going to get this keep. I don't think there's a whole lot that Phoenix Rising could do. I don't think Falstad wants to burn Gust just to push everybody away. I think they're going to be trying to look for some kind of counter engage, maybe catch somebody stepping up on the fort too much, perhaps Tassadar. His auto attack build lets his auto attack bounce between heroes, between targets. So, okay, it looks like they're ready. They're giving the countdown in. Oh, okay. It looks like they are not. Both teams are not quite ready. Okay, now the ready has been called from both teams. The countdown is through. There's the Cataclysm coming into the fort. Blue Panda trying to take down as much as he can. Let's keep going down. There's the breath from Deathwing. There's the Riptire. Just barely does not kill Tassadar. There's a cocoon onto Vala. Will they be able to get the kill? There's the stun. The wall doesn't get her on the right side of it, but Gamma gets away anyway. They don't have a whole lot of chase, it seems. on the side of Phoenix Rising. They're not able to make that happen. Lucio maybe looking for something, but Psistorm is out of there. They get the keep that they wanted from boss, and they back off. Mid camp did, in fact, do a little bit. They pushed this wave up and got them the rest of the what was missing from mid fort. And Psistorm Immortals is going to be able to make a big play. They need 25 more gems on both sides. Both teams need exactly 25 more gems. So Psistorm, they're going to be beating Phoenix Rising to 20 easily. We're going to see what they do with that. Camp is the main thing that they have up. This camp, I think, is underrated on this map by a lot of people. But some people go so far to say as middle is the strongest lane on this map because this camp is better than the boss. A quick work of that Falstad, putting on a wall to make sure nobody is flanking them from that side. Crispy anchoring from that side, maybe looking for a leap over that wall. Not going to happen. They push this wall up. That spell armor is going to help with this camp. Diablo throwing his soul shield out to be able to weather the storm from the Deathwing. They're pushing up. They've still got another wave. They're trying to get as much poke as they can to this keep. Because they have level 20, they might as well stick around. Junkrat laying out the traps. It makes it very hard for Psistorm Immortals to push in. You notice the players are all avoiding these chattering teeth in front of the keep, but they have so much poke in terms of the Tassadar. And now Diablo pulling one of the chattering teeth all the way to the side, definitely pushing the rest of this wave out. They're basically bringing, they're slowly whittling down this fort, but Phoenix Rising slowly getting the XP that they need to get to 20 and fight back. That keep is almost gone. There's the big damage onto Tassadar from the Deathwing. Nubrak tries to fall up. Here comes the Riptire trying to finish off Tassadar. The big hill coming from Stukov. The Riptire goes down and Nubrak misses the stun. Chaos Pigeon, Cocoon in the back lane. However, there's a big leap onto Nubrak, and Nubrak gets wasted. The gust comes out too late. The wind tunnel pushing the team away, and it's too late, and Nubrak goes down for another minute, and I think this mid keep is going to belong to Psistorm, and Psistorm maybe thinking about core. And no, it's core's too dangerous here. They're going to be looking for something. How Diablo caught way out to, the anti-synergy between the Diablo, the Deathwing, and the Junkrat bomb. Diablo getting pushed away from the Deathwing breath that may have in fact killed him. However, since top keep is down, core is an issue. You've got 2 catapults sitting on the core. So you got throwing the silence down onto Deathwing just to try and get some damage on him. Here's a big leap onto Delilah. Lucio goes down quickly. Again, the gust comes out too late. Lucio, you sit there by that fort. You think you're safe, but Crispy being very aggressive on the Lucio on the Sonya this game, finds the Lucio out, picks him off the map. Falstad gusts them away to safety. Another stagger in favor of Psistorm, and that's going to give them a turn-in. This could be big. It's 30 seconds on Lucio. Phoenix Rising desperately trying to push out their waves as far out as they can. These waves are going to be coming on too. They see the camp is being taken, and that's going to be camp going over to Psistorm. The Nubrak has to use the Cocoon. Junkrat is in trouble. Crispy almost hunted him down, but 9 seconds on leap is what's going to save Paco's taco this time. And Psistorm making what I think is the safer play, trying to focus their attention on bot lane and center lane, letting top lane push in on themselves, just trying to get this extra keep, really make sure that core push is going to be easier for them. Lucio's back. Here comes Diablo in Deathwing, trying to clear the wave as much as possible. There's a silence, goes down onto Deathwing for the damage. The core trying to defend. Here comes the Riptire out on the team, trying to push away as much of that wave as possible. Chaos Pigeon looking low. There's a big fear onto Diablo. Diablo goes down. Excellent kill, however, Deathwing looking very low. There's his jump. on to Falstead. Deathwing goes down, not able to get out. There is a Nubrak going down, and this is probably going to be it for Phoenix Rising for game number 2, going over to Psistorm. Closing out the game, they had a great, they just sort of clawed their way into this game. They found a few picks. They kept snowballing on their advantages. And they brought home the win. Phoenix Rising tried to put up a fight at the end, but the Anubrak and Lucio picks were just too much for them to handle. They almost had something at the end, but the waves were just too strong and the push too powerful for Phoenix Rising to overcome. We'll take a look at the talents here. Nothing super interesting coming out. You see Sonya going Battle Rage. Interesting. Going Shot of Fury. You know, the passive here from Shot of Fury is probably what allowed her to get so much damage done so quickly. This is a very aggressive Sonya build. I like that. Okay, guys, we are going to be right back with game number 3. We're going to update the score. Psistorm Immortals ties it up 1-1 here in the grand final of B-Southwest? I forget. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm your Ghost Dunk in the bottom right corner here. Let's take a look at how this tournament is proceeding. And very interesting so far, both teams winning on the other's map pick. So it looks like first pick, most powerful here tonight. And next, we are headed to Infernal Shrines, and that's going to be Phoenix Rising taking first pick and Psistorm taking us to Infernal Shrines. So we are going to show you how that works out here. Both teams are sort of trading off first pick, and I mean, if this keeps up, it's an advantage going to the top seed, Phoenix Rising. So Infernal Shrines, very one of the, I'd say, top standard maps for Heroes of the Storm. The other being, I would say, Towers of Doom, Dragonshire, and Infernal Shrines sort of represent the three different ways, sort of basic ways of Heroes of the Storm. Infernal Shrines is say more about, providing Dragonshire, really about rotations, and Towers of Doom is sort of its own beast. But it's an excellent, excellent map. I would say the best map in all of esports. I would put Towers of Doom up there with DE Dust, for example. But it looks like we are ready. We're ready to move into Infernal Shrines. Is my cat going to come up here? He will. Have a quick cat here before we go into the draft. And here we are. All right, looks like we're going to stick with the same bands. Phoenix Rising banning out the Anduin first. We're going to see if we get the Tychus ban. I have to assume it's going to be the same. They haven't deviated from it before, but if they do now, it could signal a difference in their thought. They're going to wait for it. So maybe trying to get the... Yeah, it's going to be the Hogger ban from them. I wonder why the... Phoenix Rising probably looking for the Junkrat. Wait. Oh. It looks like I have been trolled. Oh, no, I haven't. Sorry. I'm just... Okay, they switched it up. They switched it around. Now it's going to be Johanna Tychus instead of Tychus Johanna. For some reason, the ban order at the start of the game always confuses me. And I go, wait. Are they first pick or are these not for... Whatever. All right.
I stand ready.
And they go for that Vala first pick. So it looks like Vala, the contested hero for both teams. And I will say Vala 2-0 in this series so far. Oh, and this is interesting. Psistorm taking away the Lucio from Phoenix Rising, who has, I'm not going to say relied, that's the absolute wrong phrase, but it's been sort of a backbone of Phoenix Rising, and maybe hoping to take them off of it, or maybe hoping to use it with the Diablo to give them, that speed boost. Speed with Diablo kills. And instead, the Brightwing is going to be taken by Phoenix Rising and the Mei. So Northern Touch back on the Mei. Looks to be their first priority tank. And we are going to see what Psistorm decides to ban out here. And it's going to be the Deathwing. So Infernal Shrines. Another good place for Deathwing, especially for the Immortal clear, as well as defending from the Immortal. Taking that away from Lewd Panda 99, who's played it the whole time. And another Chromie deny coming from Phoenix Rising.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
And there's the Junkrat, not as highly desired on this map. Oh, and here comes a Hanzo. Okay, we're going to get to see a new hero coming out from Gambling. I haven't seen Hanzo a lot in NGS, but of course, that is my experience from C West. Whereas in B Division, he could be a lot more highly prized, or not. I'm not sure.
I play to win.
And that Deathwing will be replaced by a Deathwing Diva. So as close as you can get. Lewd Panda 99 really does love Deathwing. And US Maps now opting for the Kael'thas instead of the Falstad. And the Kael'thas very annoying to a lot of teams, especially ones that want to sort of mob you and kill you. That's, you know, clumping together is a real problem. And Crispy repeating the Sonya. Crispy, I think, feeling really good on the Sonya tonight. No one's swapping their hero for now. And into the game we go. Phoenix Rising, I think, has both teams have a really solid combination here. Psistorm Immortals, the Hanzo, and the Junkrat, the Hanzo rather, a little more vulnerable than the rest of his team. And you can imagine that Sonya Leap onto somebody like a Vala is going to be a big problem if things go wrong there. But into the game we go.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
And we are going to introduce you to the teams. On the side of heaven, we have the blue team, the Psistorm Immortals, with Lunas Gwen on Lucio, Crispy on Sonya, Gambling on Hanzo, Chaos Pigeon on Diablo, and Air Dog on Junkrat. And on the side of hell, we've got Northern Touch playing May, US Maps on Kael'thas, Lewd Panda 99 on Diva, Delilah on Brightwing, and Paco's Taco Vacoing the Vala. I was trying... Man, that didn't work.
Let the battle begin.
The calm before the storm as both teams meet in middle. We're going to take a look at these talents. Oh, there's a pig. Slam there on the Diva, but Diva gets out. Phoenix Rising just looking to clear waves and move on with their life. Sonya already up top. Diva now making her way up there. Diablo trying to make an aggressive rotate, the polymorph and the damage onto Chaos Vision. The soul shield comes out. And Phoenix Rising in clear command of the rotation so far. Oh, but Sonya actually moves down. It's going to make it a 4v5. Able to out-soak the Diva, as well as put some pressure on the Phoenix Rising. They retreat behind their camp, behind their gate, excuse me, to make a safer rotation. As now with the Sonya there, they give up that rotational advantage to Psistorm Moles. Both teams starting their camp now. Sonya, meanwhile, up top. Take a look at the XP. Pretty even on both teams. So far, these teams evenly matched. This is an excellent finals so far. Diva going full metal. Not always the pick now that it has been nerfed. And Valor once again going for that auto attack build.
Oh, just leave this here.
So yeah, think about making the rotation down, but instead we'll go and continue soaking the bottom camp advantage belonging to Psistorm Immortals. We're going to see that nets them a couple hundred, or excuse me, a few hundred extra XP points. And it's going to get them to level 5 first, stopping Diablo on the rotation. But mostly this has just been both teams trying to macro, neither team making a mistake, and so a very quiet opening match. Diablo down in bottom lane, clearing up as both teams grab their bruisers. It's going to be Psistorm that gets it first, but these camps will be pushing top while the objective is there. The objective pops. It's going to be Psistorm Immortal that gets to it first. May has to back off a little late on the camp. D.Va making her way down. Sonya actually going up top to try and get priority on the top wave. And that's good. And they see Sonya. That means a 5-man is going to be coming in. Diablo might be in trouble if he stays too long. But Psistorm realizes they get out with their 16 minions, and they're going to try to pick off the rest of them. May throwing down a Blizzard to try and keep Diablo away from their Immortals. Northern Touch getting on pretty low. Brightwing has the phase shift in to heal her up. Loot Panda has got a bomb. It's even now. And here comes a bomb from D.Va. Diablo is going to be able to get out in time against Polymorph. That's going to net them about another 10 more monkeys. And they've got a 7 advantage. And it's going to be Phoenix Rising that grabs this easily, but they did it 4 versus 5. D.Va was down there helping it with the Punisher. Sonya pushing as hard as she can top. And that's going to get them front wall and half of a fort. And dare I say it, probably just as good or better than this Punisher, despite it being a frozen Punisher. But Diablo caught in the wrong place, able to be poked down by Phoenix Rising. That's going to get allow Phoenix Rising to do more damage. My cat is begging me to play. Oh, here's a big bomb onto Lucio. However, they're out of minions. They're out of Punishers. They're trying to get as much poke as they can. They've got another wave coming. They have an advantage still, but that's going to be it as Phoenix Rising backs off. And hey, I see just how close this trade is. 5,391. And in fact, Psistorm Immortal comes out slightly ahead. Ever so slightly. Both teams grabbing their mid camp. It's going to be Phoenix Rising who try to get set up on bottom camp first. Kael'thas had to back. He's on his way. Kael'thas going for Energy Royal, which you don't see quite as often, and Bomb. He may be going for some kind of bomb build. Psistorm Immortal grabbing the camp. Phoenix Rising basically allowed them to grab it, and they're just going to clear it up immediately. We're going to take a look at XP. 500 more XP, macro XP in favor right now of Phoenix Rising, and a lot of that is from Sonya being able to sit up top the entire time the first objective was going on. Attends are here for Psistorm. They're going to try and make him pay for it. There's the arrow coming out. Doesn't hit anybody. Riptire trying to come out. Paco's Taco in trouble. Will the Riptire get there? It won't. Paco's Taco runs away. Very quick call from Psistorm Immortal to take that 10 advantage fight as quickly as possible, but the ults just didn't connect. Here comes D.Va down to double soak. They're not going to be able to get a counter engage. Diablo trying to punish her for stepping up so far. Here comes D.Va out. She's not able to get, and then Junkrat does not push her in. And in fact, it's going to be Lucio going down. Excellent counter engage. Diablo's now in trouble. Diablo goes down. They stayed way too long to try and pick off the baby D.Va, and she got pushed away by Junkrat. That's a feels bad moment if you're the I forgot who's playing Junkrat. It's Urdog You know, mistakes happen. You know, but you know, you got to be sitting there thinking, oh, I can't believe that. But it's not a big deal. It's going to swing the XP slightly now in favor of Phoenix Rising, and will give them a chance to push in on the front wall. They're going to be looking for sniping this well, so that the well will be down for the objective. They managed to get that. They may have pushed too far in. Here comes the APOC. May taking a bunch of damage, able to icing up, but Diablo's got a shadow charge, flips her. The ice wall coming down. Oh, and May finally goes down thanks to the Junkrat. However, Lucio up way too far. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Even trade, but that was a 4v5, I believe. And here comes Crispy looking on. It's going to be a 4v4. Crispy is very healthy. Still has Leap available. Bomb is up. Diablo spreading the big bomb to Sonya. Trying to get out of that Diva bomb. They heal up, and there's a Shadow Charge. There's a Leap into the back line. The Kael'thas goes down, and the Kael'thas damage with the Vol is too much, but the right wing now taken down by Hanzo. Both of these teams doing a good job of finding the weakness in their opponent's engage and punishing it. It's going to be another 1-for-1. However, this objective is in favor of Phoenix Rising. Lucio's finally back. The Phoenix Rising without their healer for another 3 seconds. Right wing will be teleporting in right away. Here comes the Asphalt down. Diablo avoids it with a Shadow Charge into the Kael'thas in the backline. He gets stunned out. He's in trouble. He goes down. The Riptire trying to make the best of a bad situation. Junkrat tries to blow himself away. He succeeds, and Phoenix Rising will take that. They come out on top on this objective, and it's going to be a Mortar Punisher. Now they're getting this camp. This has to be for XP, because this will do absolutely nothing against this Punisher. Just something for them to do. Maybe avoids taking away from Sonya. Comes down here and pushes all by herself. They're not sending anybody but Diva to get her. She's going to get part of that wall. Has to back off. Just trying to min-max their advantage while Phoenix Rising pushes in with the Immortal. There's the leap onto the Diablo. The stun and the polymorph. They're not able to pick him up this time. Diablo has a tap available, and that's going to be a half wall on the keep in favor of Phoenix Rising. Oh, Sonya caught out there, has to use Leap to escape. Vala tries to throw down a Rain of Vengeance just in case. It's not going to happen. Here's Diva trying to make something happen in the backline as Phoenix Rising pushes with the goats. In bottom, Sonya doing off-lane things, trying to get the team soaked back up, and that will allow Phoenix Rising to get a free fort. There's no front wall. They have the goats. It's 5v4 as Sonya soaks off-lane, and Diva stays with the team. Pretty standard stuff. Oh, but there's a dive onto Junkrat in the wrong place. Here's the sound barrier trying to save him. Here's the ice wall onto 2. Will they be able to stop a huge arrow from Hanzo? Gets on 3, but Junkrat's in trouble as Vala takes him down. One hand behind her back. Gambling is now in trouble. Here's the Diva Bomb trying to catch the rest of them. Nuclear option used, but not in time to get any more kills. Junkrat, ultimately the victim of that gank. He was out here, and the team had him basically surrounded. Junkrat didn't realize it. And they're not able to make a counter engage. That's going to allow Phoenix Rising to grab the wall. Sonya's still off-soaking in, but it's 16s. With that hero kill, that's going to push them up to 16 a lot sooner than they were going to. You see the retreat pings coming out. But Psistorm Immortals now want to play this slow. They have a structure disadvantage and a level disadvantage, a full level for that matter, and we'll see why here. Heroes twice as much XP. Minions soak even, and Sonya is trying to get them. Now they have the 16s. 16s are in play. Lucio going for up the frequency. Hanzo going for piercing arrows, probably looking to do, it'll allow them to do the shrines a lot faster. Val going full in on the auto build, and Brightwing going for that 25% polymorph. That's going to be huge. On target to step out, you throw a polymorph down, everybody focuses that target. You can melt even a Diablo. Diablo looking to anchor in the bush. Phoenix Rising, not late, but they arrive to the objective after Psistorm. This is going to be an arcane Punisher. Everybody coming through the top choke. Diablo trying to find some engage on there. They get stunned by the Diva. There's a leap into the backline. The Riptire takes out the Vala. Ice Wall is not in time. It only stops at Diablo, and that's going to be a big kill for Psistorm Immortal. Kael'thas getting a lot of poke damage down, but Lucio will be able to heal it up, and that's the Punisher almost gotten for Psy Immortals. Sonya Crispy, I think so far has been the MVP for Psy Immortal in this this match so far. Playing off lane excellently, good macro coming out from Crispy, but also playing aggressive and finding those big leaps when they're needed. Everybody was funneling through here, and once all the stuns went out, Crispy note. I almost call him Crunchy. Crispy, realizing that the enemy team's cooldowns are down, leaps in, stuns a whole bunch of them. The Riptire, excellent follow-up from Junkrat. However, D.Va now going to be doing what Crispy was doing and just pushing. While the Arcane Punisher pushes in. Here's the jump into the back of the Punisher taken down. They're going to start getting this wall. Sony now making their way to the team along with the D.Va. D.Va coming in, thinking about a flank, but then thinking better of it. Sonya Spear does not land. Diablo making sure that his team can get out as Phoenix Rising clears up the mess made by that Punisher push. Setting up now, seeing if they can find some kind of advantage. Sonya, Diablo making way for the team, to go to this camp. Camp, the only thing up on the map. Phoenix Rising knows that Psy Immortals are going to be there. And they're just chilling. They realize that their siege camp is up. They get there. Now, Smart May realizes they could have been setting up. I didn't see the timer in the siege camp, realizing that Phoenix Psy Immortals could be setting up here for the gank on this camp. Instead, they made the safe play and got top camp. Sony will be pushing with it. They still have an XP differential to get to catch up on. Psy Immortal cannot stand to suffer a loss in a team fight. Otherwise, go down even further and give them a huge advantage to the 20. But they're getting aggressive. Crispy coming out. They're behind a fort. They see the Sonya. Here comes a stun. The Shadow Charge pushes him into the Hanzo arrow, and Vala goes down. We said at the beginning of the game that Vala was the weak part for a Sonya leap, and that's the second time that Paco's Taco has been crunched. Oh, and there's a big slam onto D.Va, maybe trying to force the bomb out. Chaos Pigeon trying not to spread the bomb any more than he has to. Look at, Kael'thas going just absolute full bomb build. Huge plays from Psy Immortal. I don't know if that Hanzo arrow was calculated. I mean, it had to be. Like, where else was he aiming if not for the Shadow Charge area? Excellent shot coming out from Gambling. Oh, there's a shove onto May, trying to have something. Here's a polymorph coming down. D.Va trying to make something happen, trying to disrupt the team. Junkrat throws a mine down in case anybody is chasing, and they're going to back off. Now, Vala is back. It's going to be 5v5, and so now Psistorm Immortal is finally caught up, basically. This fort is still up, and while theirs is not. But it doesn't matter much. While this Punisher will be pushing top, where the waves are already pushed up. Junkrat maybe trying to find something. They're getting surprisingly aggressive in this area by the Bruiser camp. Phoenix Rising trying to get that Bruiser camp. Junkrat being an absolute jerk. Oh, Diablo charges in. He gets stunned by the Diva. Ice Wall comes out. Doesn't hit anybody. That's going to be 60 seconds without an Ice Wall from Mei. And Immortal being owning this area, killing that camp. And just waiting up. Mei finds them in the bush. And they're choosing to keep Immortal here instead of going to the objective. Maybe trying to find a Diva gank. Lewd Panda gets stunned out momentarily by Hanzo. Here comes the Brightwing teleport. Actually interrupts it. There's the jump onto Diva. Here's the Riptire. Down she goes. I think Brightwing realized Diva must have called her off, because Brightwing realized at some point that if I land this teleport, I'm going to be dead too. Diva goes down, doesn't have the boosters out. So Phoenix Rising, instead of going up to the objective, which has just been started, they may be trying to find something that, like a keep backdoor or get a camp. You've got 4 people, excuse me, on the objective. Crispy now going to be pushing top. While Phoenix Rising, all they can really do is take these camps and get ready. Diva will be back in 19 seconds, well enough in time to get this Punisher. The wall is up, so they can push this Punisher. And Sony just making sure that their waves are pushed up to keep pressure on him. Oh, they may be looking for something. Mei looking for an aggressive, but Crispy, smart enough, backs off. They leave the monkeys at 39 so that they can take care of their waves, clear up all these camps so that their gates and keeps will not be threatened, as weak as those goats are. Phoenix Rising now looking for this Bruiser camp. It's really the only thing left up on the map. I almost said menu. And they're waiting in line. Let's see if this bush gank pays off. If they realize it's coming, Diablo walks right into it. There's the Rain of Vengeance going down. The Chaos damage. Does he have enough? The Sound Barrier comes out. The Hellgate goes through, trying to find something, but Brightwing blinks out. Chaos Pigeon may have stayed too long. 300 damage. Will he get out? Mei trying to find the kill. 100 damage. Lucio saves him, and the bush gank doesn't happen, but Sonya tries to get in the backline. Sonya goes down. I was very surprised by that. Sonya trying to find something in the backline while Diablo made her way out. And you know what? It actually works out for Phoenix Rising. That's a big turn of events here. Stuck at 39 on the Shrine. And they'll be pushing with this camp. Who needs a Punisher? Paco. Now, if Sony had been alive, Paco would be absolutely dead right there, getting caught in that Junkrat trap. But now that Sony isn't there, that's a big problem. Kael'thas getting a lot of poke damage on the enemy team. Diva, gets thrown into the enemy team, get polymorphed immediately. Diablo can't follow up. They're putting a ton of damage, and Va comes in with the kill. Sound Barrier up. The rest of the team, Immortals are just falling apart under this keep. Diablo is back, however, but the Lucio kill, very damaging. Sony has now just come back. That's another stagger. Here comes a Riptire trying to push everybody off. They're not going to get a whole lot except a decent amount of damage onto this Diva. Brightwing has a phase shift to heal her back up. They're trying to find something. It's going to try fight 4v5. They realize their life might be on the line. Diablo gets a ton of damage. He goes down the leap into the back. Sonya can't find a kill. Crispy able to make it out, probably uses the spear to try and get past the bomb, but no, Diva explodes her. Phoenix Rising found one weak link on Immortal, and they take them apart. Hanzo getting a lot of damage on the Mei, but Mei's passive is available. But Hanzo gets her down and they cannot core. Gambling taking Mei down to 500 health may have just saved the game for Immortal. I mean, they're behind. They could Phoenix Rising could always win, but that forces them back onto the objective rather than trying to end the game. Mei waiting in the bush. Gambling might be in trouble. Gambling gets stunned, but is able to leap over the wall. The Mei Diva not enough to take out the Hanzo. they're looking to step up here. It's going to be 2 on 5. What's happening? Here's the ice wall down to 2 people. I think they made a sacrifice of 2 and most likely 3 people to make sure that they get the Punisher. And now Phoenix Rising has an important decision to make. Do they think they can take down this core? I think they can. With 5 people versus the Diablo and the Sonya, that Punisher is going to be like a full minute before he gets through the keep. It'll be 30 seconds before Junkrat is back. He's their best defense. And the siege on the core begins. Let's see if Crispy can make something happen. Here's the Diablo. APOC going out, hitting 3 people. The Hellgate going in. And the Sonya Leap to follow up. But Kael'thas has his shield. He's able to put that back. And Crispy and Chaos Piston are getting slowly whittled down. And his core is getting very low. Crispy, but here's Junkrat. I don't think he's going to be able to make it in time. Kael'thas dies, but that is going to be game. Very interesting gamble coming out from Immortal, but it does not pay off. And Phoenix Rising Onyx takes game number 2. That was a weird one. That was a really weird one. Take a look at the talents here. In case you want to see them. I don't see anything particularly interesting here that I didn't already point out. But, oops. Really interesting ending there. They decide to make a move and sacrifice everybody to try and just get the Punisher. I mean, maybe they think Punisher is game over for them. I mean, you know what? I'm not in their place. You know, that could have worked out if everybody had escaped, and they had somebody to defend core. That could have worked out for them, but everybody got caught, unfortunately. And Phoenix Rising will take that game. Let me update the score. It looks like we are keeping with our first pick advantage for both teams. But we will be right back with game number 4 in this Div B Southwest final. Beck's in. I'm just going to step in real quick. We are not back with the game, but thank you, everybody, coming in from the main Nexus Gaming Series channel. We got a whole bunch of you in here. We're going to be back very soon with game number 4, Phoenix Rising Onyx, trying to take game number 3 to close out the series. Psistorm Immortals looking to even the score back up and bring it up to game 5. Both teams have found that first pick is winning them games, and it's Psistorm Immortals' turn to try and steal first pick back from Phoenix Rising. So we'll see. Should be a very interesting game number 4. Stick around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned immediately, and game number 4 is going to be taking place on Sky Temple. Once again, first pick. Psistorm decides to give themselves first pick, and it's going to be Phoenix Rising Onyx that's taking us to Sky Temple. This map, obviously a very macro-heavy map as we go into the draft. And we're going to see if that changes how these teams play. I have to imagine both teams are going to address something a little bit similar to what they did on All Track Pass. Definitely expect the Falstad out of U.S. maps if Psistorm Immortals doesn't ban or take it. Once again, thank you, everybody who came in from the raid. People demand Artanis games. I will pass that on to Psistorm and Phoenix Rising as soon as possible. And we see the Mei band out first. Switching off of their Johanna and Tychus bans, and we may see exactly why Psistorm Immortals has been banning either of those heroes. Phoenix Rising Onyx sticking with the Anduin ban that they've been doing for the last 3 games. But the Mei maybe proving to be too much, then they're not going to first pick Mei. And so possibly to keep Phoenix Rising off of it. I mean, she gave Psistorm Immortals quite the problem, and that's going to be the Falstad band. So instead of sticking with their normal bans that they've been doing for the last 2 games, they are reacting to try and keep their dreams of winning the B-SouthEast finals alive. And taking down some of the 2 most potent weapons away from Phoenix Rising. We'll see if Phoenix Rising responds in kind. I mean, Crushinator, you're a people, so if you demand it, the people demand it. And they in fact do that. The Haka being banned out, they saw Psistorm use that in game number 1. And with Sky Temple on the line, they're going away from their usual Hogger ban. It makes sense. It looks like Phoenix Rising doesn't value Hogger quite as highly. And here's a... Oh, boy. I think... Okay, one of 2 things could be happening. 1, Juice Pirates. And if that's the case, I think they gave their hand away a little too soon. Psistorm Immortals, when you see the Tyrael and you're on Sky Temple, your brain better start thinking. And they take it away. So the second thing could be, let's trick them into thinking, let's try to get Juice Pirates. We probably won't, but it will force them to either ban or pick Morales away. I don't know if Psistorm Immortals has played Tyrael in the past, but very interesting that Phoenix Rising turns around and says, actually, we'll take the Morales. And here comes the Rhaegar Kerrigan, and in fact, it looks like they do have a backup for playing with Tyrael. It is not necessarily a Juice Pirate, so this makes the Tyrael first pick simply strong. And yeah, it's not to say that Tyrael is only used for Juice Pirates, but definitely makes the opponent think. And I'm willing to lean more towards part 2 because you've got the Rhaegar, you've got the Kerrigan. That is a huge amount of melee, and with a Tyrael, that can be very strong, especially into a Morales Vala. That's a huge amount of dive. And it's going to be Crispy playing that, I believe. I looked over to see if Crispy was playing it, because if not, I was like, are they going to actually add in the Sonya too for like the maximum dive? They ban out the Johanna. And it makes sense that they didn't ban out Tychus, because this is not a a composition where I think Tychus will excel. And I like every part of this, because you ban out the Falstad and you pick the Tyrael. That like screams Juice Pirates, but it also bans out Falstad from US maps on a map where he's very good. And that's going to be ETC and Sonya. First time we see an ETC this series. Now we have the oh my god. Okay. We got the Bahamut Karazim. That's not what I was oh my godding about, but this is so far 5 melee heroes, or 4 melee, and a Tracer. They're going to be all over Phoenix Rising. And Vala, if I'm a Vala player, I look at this and I am utterly frightened. If I'm a Lieutenant Morales player, I mean, if there was ever any time to Mocus Feralis, this might be it. And here's the Lily, hoping to shut down the Tracer and all the auto attacks that we have going on. And I've been so stunned by this that I have forgotten to set up the player things here, but I will get this correct. So a very unique composition coming out from Psistorm Immortals. You can tell that their tournament life is on the line. One weakness I am noticing out of Psistorm Immortal, this is a double support comp. And the problem with a double support comp is wait, there's my mouse. Is that this is Sky Temple. You don't have to fight on those objectives if you don't want to. And with Morales, you can still, even though you're not Juice Pirates, you have the jet to get around everywhere. But we're going to go into the teams. I didn't set up the cool looking thing. So on the blue side, we have Psistorm Immortals. We've got Urdog playing Rhaegar, Lunas Gwen on the Karazim, Chaos Pigeon on the Tyrael, Gambling on the Tracer, Crispy on the Kerrigan. And on the red team, we have Phoenix Rising Onyx with US Maps playing Sonya, Paco's Taco on Vala, Lewd Panda 99 on Lily, Northern Touch on ETC, and Delilah on Lieutenant Morales. We still see Kerrigan played up here as a solo laner, it looks like. I should say off laner. And teams just sort of, so Psistorm Immortals sort of spreading out while Phoenix Rising sticking with the more traditional rotation between mid and bottom. We're going to see. Look, I thought maybe they might start to death ball with Kerrigan down here, but no. She looks like she's going to try and double soak. Possibly. Oh no, she realizes she has to go up top as Chaos Vision. Best Morales skin. I love that. All right, both teams going for their camps. I think Kerrigan maybe came down to try and start something. Didn't really work out. And so she just moves back up to the top. Both teams grabbing their siege camps almost the same time. And we see here just how weak the wave clear of Psistorm Immortals is. But Psistorm now getting aggressive. Here comes Karazim. We're going to check the talents out. Karazim is indeed Punchy Boy, so I said it's double support, but I would say it's more now like 1.5 support, given the Karazim. Going. I think this is a healing build. And now we're gonna have Vala and Lieutenant Morales up, grabbing the camp well ahead of Psistorm Immortals. So the early game, no real advantages for either team. The camp will be coming out earlier, or yeah, slightly earlier for Phoenix Rising. Lily down on the bottom. Both teams pretty much even on XP, with Lily choosing to stay a little bit longer to get that extra wave, while Tyrael, the tank, has to come up, maybe looking for something in on the Immortal. And on these fights, we're going to see just how dangerous their composition can be. Lily staying in bottom, now making her way up top. I think it speaks to the more macro game that Phoenix Rising wants to play. Here comes the Kerrigan in the back to slide. Tyrael in the back to slide. There's the Kerrigan pull onto 2. Vala's in trouble, but she is close enough and to Morales and her own base to get away. However, that allows Psistorm Immortal to hold this objective for longer. However, Sonya getting the objective top and trading out while the rest of Phoenix Rising goes off and does other things. Kerrigan now grabbing the bot soak. ETC trying to keep them, trying to control this area here so that they can get, can't get onto this as easily. Mid Temple going completely in favor of Psistorm, but it looks like top Temple will be going completely in favor of Phoenix Rising. And with this camp here, they're having a hard time clearing it. I don't think it did a whole lot of damage to the front wall, but still, that forces them to stick around a lot longer. And, you know, Psistorm Immortal wants to fight. Kerrigan looking for a Vala, but no. She's going to find an ETC near her. Kerrigan trying to find something, doesn't get the pull. Tracer Bomb goes out, doesn't hit anybody. Checking on the Tracer build. Kerrigan now playing off lane once more, and as both teams go back to their camps and continue to try and get the push towards 10. And I'm surprised we're not seeing Siam World be a little bit more aggressive with the kind of team that they have. As just as I said that, Tyrael maybe trying to find something. Rhaegar leaping through. Going full lightning shield build, getting that cleanse. Really just kind of chilling out here, and experience in favor of Phoenix Rising by a hair. Just a little bit more minion soak for them. And US Maps takes out Kerrigan top. I am so sad that I missed that, but that's a big deal. That's going to get tens immediately, and Phoenix Rising, that's exactly what they want to see. And these single phases for the temples, you know, with a team fighting team like that, if you can get a kill ahead and get a stagger, this is huge on the places where you do have to fight. Now Sonya pushing in, and with this, the lack of wave clear, it's up to Rhaegar to stop her. She's going to get this top 4, the rest of it, all by herself. She's not even scared. Rhaegar's just a nuisance to the Sonya, and Phoenix Rising getting the bottom camp as Rhaegar is top with Sonya. Kerrigan thinking about grabbing the soak mid, instead comes down. They've got the 10s, you've got the sanctification as well as the 7 side, and you do have the bloodlust. Honestly, like a bloodlust can affect Tyrael and Kerosene most. Here comes the bloodlust. They move in. That move speed is great, but there's the ETC mosh, but the Tracer goes down. She's the one who gets caught out. The cleanse came down in time. Oh, there's a big lead for Sonya, and Kerosene goes down. And this is looking bad for Psistorm Immortals. Psistorm Immortal, they want to run at Phoenix Rising. They did so here, and it didn't work out this time. So either they're going to have to scale, they're going to have to change, or they're going to have to change their fight plan, because this is not working out for them. They're losing both the macro and the team fight game so far. I was taking a sip of water. I saw the team fight. I clicked on it too late, but Kerrigan goes down again. That's the second time that she's gotten picked off. I mean, that's one of the problems with Kerrigan as an off laner. If you want to off lane with Kerrigan, you can be pretty susceptible to ganks. And Lily just doing the dirty work. I mean, it's an off lane Lily. You've got the off laner playing her.
Return to your war.
I mean, with fast feet, Lily can even anchor there. With the only CC on the side of, I mean, it's a big CC, but the only C on the side of Psistorm Immortal is the Kerrigan. Here's 13s for Phoenix Rising. And Psistorm has to come up here and clear this massive camp. They're getting their own camp to help in this process. Here's the siege, and Phoenix Rising thinks they're going to start the boss. It's going to be Stim drone coming out for the Morales, which makes sense because that Vala has been killer in every single game, no matter what team she's been on. Here comes Tyrael to maybe try and check things out. Throws down the Q, pushes everybody off. Can he do it? There's a sanctification, but it's not going to be enough to steal the boss. There's the ETC mosh pit. Tyrael's going to dance for a while. The boss going over to Phoenix Rising. There's the 7-sided coming out, but Tyrael's going to go down. The 7-sided hits everybody, so it doesn't do much. There's the focus for Morales. Morales goes down. Tracer gets out. Vala comes in, takes her down. And Lily's going to go down as well. Oh, and there goes Vala too. The Kerrigan and Rhaegar combination actually surprisingly strong. They trade in 3 for 2. They lose a boss, but they come out ahead on kills, and that's got to feel great if you're Psistorm Immortal. And I think that they switched up their battle plan. And so ETC fighting Rhaegar on point. Kerrigan mounting up. She's on her way to come help this fight. ETC realizes that Kerrigan missing Northern Touch, gets out. Crispy not able to find anything there, and that's going to be the bottom camp, and now it's going to be Tyrael versus Sonya. Fight! Tyrael trying to push her away. Really just stall for time. He's not going to be able to find the kill, and here comes the rest of the team. Will Tyrael be able to get out? Sonya uses leap to, Sonya uses leap to make sure it does not happen. and the rest of that temple, which is quite a lot, is going to go over to Phoenix Rising. So Sky Temple, you know, your structures are like your health bar, and if that's the, you know, if you think about it, that metaphor, Phoenix Rising in definite control. They've got 16, and they have a much more structures damage than Psistorm Immortal. However, Psistorm Immortal, they proved to be pretty scary in that one engage. So Phoenix Rising is going to have to keep their head on a swivel and make sure that they don't get taken down like that again, because you can survive team fight losses like that. Oh, here comes ETC trying in. They're getting a little aggressive. Here's a big slide. The mosh pit lands on the one. Rhaegar's going to start to dance. Material dancing. Here comes a bloodlust counter engage. The Cups comes out to heal everybody down. Trace trying to find. There's a big leap. Trying to get away. The Rain of Vengeance into Vala. As Vala getting chased with that stim drone, she can run away. Oh, ETC all alone. Northern Touch getting very low. Down he goes. US Maps is going to be next target, but Morales keeping her alive. But Morales now being Mocused, and Delilah goes down. The fort goes down, and that is another trade in favor of Psistorm Immortal. Let's see what they can do with this. Now, if you're Psistorm Immortal, this is a vital part of the game. You've just taken down 2 people. You have 26 seconds where you are without their other team. How do you take advantage of this map? Rhaegar is going to come back to clear this. A wall has already been taken to the keep, and they're going to use these siege giants to try and siege onto the wall of this keep. You've got the fort still sitting top. Phoenix Rising now, if they overstay here, Phoenix Rising will be able to go on. There's the big leap and the slide from ETC. ETC power face melts, pushes everybody away, but Kerrigan's not going to be able to get out. So Kerrigan goes down. They get the front wall. Well, Rhaegar is off, sort of off laning. ETC maybe looking for something. They realize that it's up there, and this is what having no wave clear does to you. Getting camps takes a very long time. They're not able to make anything happen, but they're going to be able to clear this camp almost immediately on the side of Phoenix Rising. They decide not to bother and do it, but just keep them pushed off. ETC maybe looking for someone to step up, but the rest of his team just playing around top temple as the next temple phase engages, and this is good news for Phoenix Rising. All right, Phoenix Rising playing the temple game, whereas Psistorm Immortal is trying to push out the rest of their lanes. They know they can't, without 5, they cannot fight, and now they realize it's here. Everybody's around. Let's see if they can take them out. Here comes a big flank. ETC in, doesn't check the push. There's a pull on ETC. Can they finish him off? Here comes the Bloodlust. There comes a counter leap, and Tracer goes down from the leap. Huge plays from the Sony. Here comes the Cups to heal everybody back up, and Psistorm Immortal has to back off, and Psistorm Immortal was already walking the knife's edge. This could be the beginning of the end for them. Just another setback for them. Boss is up. Tyrael moving down. Lily going to take the temple, and I think Phoenix Rising going to try and take that. Oh, Delilah face checks that bush, but fortunately nobody was there that could really do damage. And they're going to try and give him a 4v4. It's an even fight. Chaos Pigeon, though, goes down. Here's the Tyrael damage coming out. Will they find anything from it? Only lands on the ETC, and the 4v4 immediately falls apart. Psistorm Immortal in dire straits right now. Now there's anchoring the bush. There's the slide onto Rhaegar. Urdog is in trouble, manages to get out alive, but I think that's going to be an easy boss for Phoenix Rising. And when you start losing the fights like this is where it starts catching up with you. I mean, XP is just about even. 20 is going to be here pretty quickly for Phoenix Rising Online, which will allow them a very strong boss push with this, but look at how far their lanes are pushed in, and there's very little that they can do. This wave is still a problem for Immortal. ETC looking to anchor up top here, giving them space on the Bridge of Death. Immortal trying to get as much poke on this boss as they can. You've got Siege Giants behind us. I don't think this keep is long for this world. They're just trying to get this boss down as quick as possible. Ethereal comes out to provide some counter offense to Terazim, trying to find something. Here comes the Stim Drum out of the Val. Everybody runs away. Val is very dangerous, but here's a lead from Sonya. The Bloodlust comes out to try and keep everybody alive. The Sanctification comes out. Rain of Vengeance lands on a 2, but here's the Mosh. Tyrael is dancing, but they get free. The AGC Mosh is interrupted. Boss is now hitting core. Tracer trying to find something on the Morales in the back, but there's so much damage coming out from the Bruisers. Kerrigan has to use her Cocoon. There's a trade. Kerosene for Morales. ETC getting very low. ETC goes down, but Rhaegar's going to follow. It's an absolute bloodbath. But Tyrael's next. Will Tyrael find the damage that's needed? But no, it's going to be 4 down, and it's going to be 4 for 2 in favor of Phoenix Rising online. And this wave we talked about, as well as the Siege Giants, end the game, and that is going to be Phoenix Rising Onyx taking the win and the tournament. Phoenix Rising Onyx, your Division B Southwest champions. And we are going to see if we can't get an interview with them. I'll show you the talents here. Okay, let's see if we can get a member here. All right, we're gonna have somebody joining us. Maybe everybody, maybe just one person, maybe 2 people. Who knows? Coming from Phoenix Rising Online. They are going to be on their way. I will have to make sure. Hopefully, my Discord audio still works. Hello. Can you say hello one more time, please? Okay, you are going to have to wait 1 second. I don't have my audio set up properly here. Yes, exactly. Okay, say hi again. Man, oh man. So I forgot I'd have to be using Discord to do interviews, so I wasn't exactly thinking about it. I think this should work.
No worries. If not, we can drive over to your house.
There it is. Oh, please. I mean, you're welcome. Say hi to my cats. It'd be a fun time. All right. First of all, big, huge. Actually, let me change the score here. Congratulations, Phoenix Rising Onyx. You are the Division B Southeast champions. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Very good.
Yeah.
We're way hype, fam. We're feeling really good.
Usually I say a lot on interviews, but I'm just almost shaking right now. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
I had to check my heart rate on my Apple Watch just to see where it was at, and I'm over 100 right now. So let's go.
Yeah, I'm cool as a cucumber because all I had to do was press Q on Lily.
Roll face.
I mean, you know, having done offlane for a while, I think that's the chillest position anyway. I don't know if you'd agree. Maybe I'm just talking bollocks.
Oh yeah, it is.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, it's the trash man, as McIntyre put it once. But let me start with your guys' story. You guys are here in Div B. Is this? Are you guys normally in Div B from season to season, or what's your sort of story here?
So far, this is our third season as a general team. Maps, Panda, Delilah, and I have been on the same team for, I think this is season 3.
I think you're right.
Of NGS, and we brought on Northern this year as our new tank, and yes, we have been Div B all 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Excellent. And did you guys? How'd you guys fare in the regular season? I'm afraid I wasn't able to see that.
Pretty
Like
good.
what place?
Somewhere in the middle.
We were sixth.
Yeah, I think we were
fifth.
seed.
Fifth,
seed?
technically.
Oh,
Yeah.
fifth? Oh, my
There's a
bad.
weird tiebreaker rule, yeah, but we were fifth. So
you
right
guys-
in the middle.
You guys really pulled it up from the lower seeds of the regular division. Did you guys felt you improved as a team as you moved into the playoffs, or did you guys make a big adjustment, or what happened there?
I think so, and I'll sneak in a shout out to the Phoenix Rising higher level teams. I think they really helped us in the last stretch with practice and scrims.
Excellent.
That's true. We've scrimmed mostly, Div A and Nexus division teams just to, get that really sweaty practice in, and I think that just watching them slap us and how they did it, it really gave us a lot of good ideas as well as play styles on certain maps.
Excellent. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. I love all these different orgs that we have around NGS. Some have like 7 or 8 teams or something like that. It's absolutely crazy. But it's so awesome to see, and it's so awesome to see people helping each other out and making these little small communities that can fight it out, duke it out. But let's go to the games here. Just going to talk about your guys' draft for a bit. You guys, both teams were fighting for first pick. Do you think that's the strongest right now in the meta you guys are playing?
I'll let Panda answer that, drafter guy
Yeah, he's our drafter.
and strategizer. Oh, Panda, you there?
All right.
All right, well,
Classic Panda.
He does this on us. This is normal.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, but you're right though. I think we were kind of playing around with that, right? And it seemed like that's what each team kind of wanted to do, right? It was very interesting.
Yeah, I think it was a case on that map where both teams were playing it actually pretty passively, like playing it exactly how you should on that map. But I think in that case, we actually had better globals. So Alterac is like whittled down the other team until like they actually break or forts go down, get camp, and just push it in. And it's kind of like like our coaches taught us that it's not an all-in type map. And I think we did a good job just not overcommitting, and that goes for like every win we had tonight. Was we didn't overcommit to fights, and we used our globals to our advantage and just pushed them in.
Awesome. That is really cool to hear. Now, you guys banned Anduin out pretty much every single game. Is he just really strong right now, or do you know something about Psistorm?
When I did the scouting against Psistorm, they're 10-0 on Anduin this season, and I don't think they've been picking them as often early in the season, so a lot of those wins are late. So I think that it seemed to be a comfort pick for them, and if we ever wanted to blow something up, like the pull is really good. He's got really good engage with a light bomb. I think it works well based on what they do. They're very much like a wombo, all-in team, and you could see that in a lot of their drafts.
Mm-hmm.
And it was definitely a good counterban to the 10-0. You see or hear that anywhere, and you're just like, all right, well, let's not even risk it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much our thought process on that is if they're that good on Anduin, we don't even want to see it.
Fair enough. And one thing I love about NGS is that these metas develop where you just know the heroes that your opponent is strong on, and so it really adds an element of excitement, I think, to these matches. Now, getting a little bit more into draft, I just have a couple more questions. I mean, it seemed pretty even throughout the game. You guys prioritize May, and when you didn't grab May, you were able to grab something like a Nubarak or ETC. I did notice that you guys were heavy on the fall step, but at some point you decided not to take him on maps. I think maps opted for somebody else. Like, what situations do you find that fall step wasn't going to work for you?
It always works for us.
Let's be real. Fall step's super flexible.
Yeah, we can't let out the secrets. We have another game to play.
Yeah, that is
Fair
true.
enough. Fair enough. All right, I won't ask too much more. Instead, I will ask you probably the question on everybody's mind. I was kind of building up to this. Game number 4. They come out with a weird comp. Double support, melee Bloodlust Rhaegar comp. And you guys decided to counter with Lily Morales. What was your thought in seeing what they were throwing against you?
So at first, I'd done scouting on this team, and they haven't played Sky Temple, but they did play in Nexomania actually. And the one time they ran Sky Temple was with a Juice Pirates comp. So first pick Tyrael, not very common, probably going Juice Pirates. So we grabbed the Morales away, but that gave us made us really susceptible to dive. So we tried to load up the back line as much as possible to try to blind all those auto attackers that are coming in with Bloodlust. Those fights were just crazy. Like, it's just 5 people standing on top of each other from each team, and everybody's hitting buttons. So
fair enough. Now, I mean, at some point you guys got some early picks and were able to get an advantage in the game, but Psistorm started coming back and they started beating you in fights. What was the turning point for you guys in putting that game away?
I think it was especially when they committed pretty hard bottom and we were getting some individual picks on them. Up to that point, like, we couldn't ever go for boss just because there's a Tyrael there with Sank and like to push us off. And I'm kind of shocked at that the boss fight that we did have, that we didn't get rolled on it. But yeah, that was probably the biggest turning point. But generally, like, what worked on that map worked for us on the other maps, which was stay a little bit more passive, make sure we control temples and the waves, and don't push out too far because we're so squishy. If they get us on rotation, we're screwed.
But I agree, Northern. We saw I think it was the Kerrigan top, and they had 4 bot. We were 5. Oh, we when we snuck around and jumped them, I think that kind of helped us turn it.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, we played our macro just well, and every game we won enough to where once we had lane pressure, getting camps. Them camps are, people sleep on it. They're not super important, but they do have a big impact, and I feel like we did a good job controlling, making sure we got them before objectives, and we allowed that to really help push lanes while we were off doing other things.
All right. And now, speaking of the game you did lose, it was Tomb of the Spider Queen. Do you guys feel that your macro was just weaker on that map in general?
I think the macro was there. I think I kind of inted for kills a little bit too much when I was on a Nubarak, and Panda called me out for it in the middle of the game, and I think like he's 100% correct. I was going too far in. There was one fight where I think I had Diablo web wrapped and his team was all split and down low, and I kept on going in because I thought we were chasing, but really, like, we should have just turned around and blown up that Diablo because the rest of their team just had 0 health left, and I've got all the stuns for the Diablo, so that was on me, I think, more than anything.
Let me jump in there. I don't think it was on Northern. We went from playing either overly aggressive, from a lot of us, to playing very timid. It was nothing really in between. It wasn't consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
and as well, a slight comp issue, I would say. We didn't really have enough dive follow-up for an Anubarak. Not saying it's Northern's fault by any means. We just didn't have the right follow-up for it. So once he was in, he was in. He was very far from us, and we had little to close that gap. But we did misplay a few times there that really, helped them snowball a victory on that one.
We gotta tip our hats to them for capitalizing too.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a beefy front line to jump on our back line to Diablo Sonya with a leap. God damn, I would not want to be you guys that game.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I felt really bad for Delilah sitting behind your keep. Sony just comes in, takes you out, and leaves.
It hurt.
Yeah.
It really hurt.
All right. So you guys have one more game. It's going to be, I believe, is that the Div B finals, or I'm not sure how the tournament works.
I think it's the Coastal final, and then we potentially may explore finally getting the West and East Coast reconciled, because I know we actually came from B West, and a lot of seasons that it's like nobody even thinks about running it, but we have to worry about the East Coast final first and foremost.
Do you know who your opponent is going to be for the Coastal final?
Not a clue.
Not
All
yet,
right.
no.
Do you know who your potential opponents are?
I know one of the teams was Smoke, who we've played before and scrimmed against. I don't know if they won or not. I guess we could do a little learning right now and check.
Wholesome Halfwits won 3-0 versus Smoke, so it would be Wholesome Halfwits if we're playing Northeast.
All right, well, Smoke got smoked.
So you guys probably have you haven't checked in on Wholesome Halfwits just yet.
No, not yet. But luckily, it's the end of the season, so all the data's there. It's not like it's a brand new team. But the same thing goes for us. All of our data's out there too. So
Some of our data's up there. We still have some stuff that we've been hanging on to.
All right, that sounds exciting, and I can't wait to see you guys move on to there. Thank you guys so much for the interview. You guys seem very hype about this. I'm so glad you guys are so excited about this. Well-deserved. Excellent fight also from Psistorm. But now is the time that I give to all of you for shout-outs. So the floor is yours.
Shredded.
Shredded.
Best coach in the
Honestly.
game.
Shredded.
Shredded wind.
Oh, Shredded Wind. My God, that man's a legend.
We've learned
shout out
a
to
lot
him.
from that guy.
Shout out to the whole Phoenix Rising esports. I mean, thanks for all the practice. Thanks for all the scrims. Thanks for all the even the B steps, man. Just it helps with the mental. It hurt, but it helps with mental. Y'all kick ass. Thank you.
I want to shout out the other team too, Psistorm Immortals. They're a really friendly bunch of people. Very nice. They run some very scary stuff, and they're very good at it. We were kind of dreading this match a little bit out of all the matches we played.
Yep.
So, and right now they beat us in the regular season. We happen to win this time around. I'm sure next time it could be a totally different story. So they're a very good team.
Yeah, and definitely a big shout out to the Phoenix Rising organization. Like we said, we scrimmed a ton of teams in the org, and they're always there to help us, even though, I don't know why a Nexus team would want to scrim a B League team, but we've done pretty well, actually, going up against some of these teams sometimes. So we've gotten a lot better, and we appreciate them giving us those opportunities. And to Covey especially for running the org, and to all the guys that help contribute, because they don't get a big shout out. Like Panda's one of them, but yeah, it's a lot of thankless work. All the coaches that come in and help out as well.
Yeah, Gingy Boy, Alfie, and Storm as well. All three of those guys come in and help out occasionally, and just offer some higher level help and advice, when we're kind of struggling. So Alfie, Gingy Boy, and Storm really have helped us out.
And I know Gingy Boy is awesome. I've met him, talked to him before. He's great.
Yeah, Gingy's good people.
Yeah, great guy. One last shout out for me. I just want to shout out my boys, Loki and Scoob, that helped support me this whole time, like watching my streams, watching your stream. They're here right now, and shout outs to the fam, yo. Thanks for supporting.
Shout out to you, Ghost.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for the cast. We haven't been cast too much this season, so hopefully we'll see some more of you next season. We look forward to it. And also I want to shout out Ms. Windup Bird for always believing us in every single game that is cast.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, shout out to our super sub Brian too.
For sure.
Shout out,
Brian. Oh yeah, and I do have to shout this out. Wono for never playing Nova and constantly forever being known as Whoa No Nova.
Whoa,
He's
no,
a tease.
Nova.
Big time tease.
Hydra, the fam, everyone. Y'all are awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right.
and our buddies in Bronze 6 too. We can't forget Danny and
yeah.
company.
I used to be on a
course.
team with Ferret.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, small world, fam. I love it. We have such good people around us, and all the support, all the hype. Can't thank y'all enough.
All right, thank you so much, Phoenix Rising, for coming in. You got good luck on the Coastal Finals, and we will see you down the road.
Thanks
man.
again.
Much
Yeah,
love,
thanks a
baby.
lot.
Much love.
I really want to shout out that was such a great set of shout outs from Phoenix Rising. I really want to underscore, if you guys are watching this and you're not involved in NGS and you like Heroes of the Storm, even if you don't like Heroes, like even if you haven't played it yet, like join NGS. It's the most fun the game can provide, and the community here is just above anything else that I've been around. All the different teams, they form different communities, and you get to know a lot of people. You get to know a lot of help. You have so much fun meeting all these people and playing games with them. I highly recommend it. So I also want to say congratulations also to Psistorm Immortals for making it this far. You guys really put up a fight, and in some places you guys were just gunning for it. You guys are, I may have been confused, like the Infernal Shrines game. You guys went out there, but you guys put it all on the line. I appreciate the heart from you guys, and thanks for giving us such a great series. And thank you all for watching at home. I really appreciate you stopping by. Nexus Gaming Series 2. And thanks for the raid from the main channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I think that's going to be it. So, once again, to recap, Phoenix Rising Onyx wins the B-SouthEast Championship, going 3-1 over Psistorm Immortals. I've been Ghost Dunk, your friendly caster. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you soon.